Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking about Christian Benteke. Is he worth the £32.5 million Liverpool have paid for him? Yeah, when we talk about Benteke, we've got to talk about will he fit into Liverpool's side. Obviously we know he's a talented player, he scored goals at Villa, but at Villa the side was orientated around him mainly. I mean, crosses were put in for him, he was the star man, and at Liverpool that might not be the case, he might not be that out-and-out striker. I imagine if he does play on his own, Sturridge will not play or might play on the left, but I think Rodgers will want to get Sturridge and Benteke playing, and then that means where do you fit in Firmino and Coutinho? Maybe only one of those two can play, or you play two of them out wide and no wingers, but then you've got no crossing for Benteke and his strengths in the air. So I think it'll be difficult for Rodgers to actually fit in. Like I said, if you don't have wingers, then you've got no one to cross into, and at the moment Liverpool haven't got any wingers anyway that they could play in those positions. But Coutinho's not really a brilliant crosser. I wouldn't say Firmino's a brilliant crosser. They haven't got people who can whip it in. I mean, you need someone who can cross it into Benteke, because that's where he'll get a lot of his goals, is rising above players. We've seen that, and he hasn't really played the striker before, and when he has, it's not really been too successful. I mean, at Belgium he plays on his own up front when he plays. He doesn't really play with Lukaku, and when he has, it's not been fruitful. Haven't scored many goals, so it doesn't look like he likes playing with another striker really. Obviously at Villa he's played a few times with Agbonlahor and stuff, but not really as a main striker. It's always been Benteke as kind of a focal point, out and out type, big number 9, good in the air, can get the ball down, can score goals. We know what he brings to the Premier League. I mean, look at what they said is third, I think, or fourth in the goals scored since he's arrived in the Premier League. I mean, there's only people like Suarez, Aguero, and I think it was Van Persie in front of him. So obviously that shows pedigree. We can't dispute that he's a gifted and talented footballer. But £32.5 million. Obviously we've seen a lot of things on Twitter like Ronaldinho cost that much for Barcelona, which is true. But football's not the same anymore. We can't talk like that. I mean, 32 million now isn't a massive fee for big teams. It's just what you have to pay to get certain players. I mean, Rio Ferdinand went for 30 million a few years ago, and people don't say that was a bad transfer. So, you know, the fee is really incomplete. I mean, it doesn't really matter how much you pay. And as a fan, I've never understood moaning about how much your club pays for a player, because you're not paying it. It don't come out of your wages, or it don't come out of your cash. So however much a club pay. I mean, as long as you're not going to administration, and I don't see Liverpool getting into administration, so the fee doesn't really matter. I mean, you pay what Villa asks you to pay if you want the player. But yeah, Benteke, I think he'll do well. I think he'll get 10 to 15 goals for Liverpool. I don't think he'll get more than that. I don't think he'll get 20 odd goals, and that's purely because I don't think that they've got the kind of players in place who can get the best out of Benteke at the moment. Yes, if they bring in a few wingers, I can see his goals going up, but at the moment they've just got no people who can provide for him for his biggest talent, which is in the air or challenging players. I mean, he's alright on the floor, obviously he is. I mean, we've seen him score some brilliant goals on the deck, but he is better in the air and controlling the ball and getting it down from there. So I think it's not a bad signing, Benteke, for £32.5 million. My final verdict, I think it's a good signing for Liverpool. I'm not really sure why people are saying it's a bad signing on Twitter, because they paid so much. I mean, we've seen people pay minimal fees for rubbish players before. We've seen people pay good fees for rubbish players. We've seen people pay rubbish fees for brilliant players, and we've seen people pay no fees or massive fees for big players. So the fee doesn't really mean anything to me. It's just about the quality of the player, and if Liverpool are happy to spend £32.5 million, then the best to them. But anyway, that's all for this little video on Benteke. I'll be back tomorrow again for another daily upload. Stay tuned for that. Please like the video, leave your comments below, and subscribe to me. I've just hit 100 subscribers, which is brilliant. Hopefully we can keep growing. See you in the next one.